Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of the Daily Stand-Up. My name's Lee Henson, president and founder of AgileDad. Without any further ado, let's get started. This week, we're going to focus on 5 of the hot topics that have been trending in 2020 outside of COVID with regard to your Agile implementation. So there's lots of things going on in the world today, lots of unrest, lots of craziness, lots of things surrounding us. But I thought it was time for us to focus on 5 hot topics and just kind of talk about them. These are things that we've gotten inquiries regarding. These are things where we've had people chime in and say, hey, would you mind speaking about this? We've just got a lot going on. So let's jump right in. So for today's topic, I want to talk about Agile beyond IT departments, Agile beyond information technology. When Agile was first, I don't want to say developed, but when it was first created, many of the people who were responsible for creating the Agile mindset and Agile framework tended to focus on more of a software implementation model. Even the Agile Manifesto was the Agile Manifesto for software development. It wasn't until a lot more recently when we started seeing a proliferation of Agile beyond IT, when we started seeing things like Agile being implemented in places like retail, finance, legal. We saw it in entertainment quite a bit. Manufacturing has always been a key for things like Lean or Kanban, but the actual side of the plants where we're changing over the manufacturing model, we've seen it in government, military, insurance. It's been everywhere, and I think it's just important for us to talk about what's happening with regard to Agile beyond IT and some of the trending things that we're seeing. So the IT department is the one that always has people trying to juggle multiple tasks, struggling to complete them within a short time period, and it results in a lot of pressure, and oftentimes that results in compromised quality. But Agile puts more emphasis on producing deliverables that satisfy the end client while trying to be time efficient. So I think it's important for us to discuss a little bit about that efficiency and how that efficiency weighs in when it comes to smart project management. And I really do feel that there is lots to be said here. For example, I have many friends who work in the insurance industry, and we've had an opportunity to coach at many of their organizations. And what I can tell you is that in the insurance industry, many things are date-driven or are compliance-driven, and there are things that need to be done right away, and there are things that in the spirit of pushing through and getting through some of the rough spots, the pressure is often on these individuals to produce high-quality products or services. The thing that we recognize that is really interesting about this is that not all of the projects they're working on are software-related. However, there are some companies who produce. For example, one of the major producers of the software needed to do estimation for when you have an incident, to estimate claims. That company has really embraced Agile, and they're doing great with the implementation of it as well as with the build of the actual software. So what we're starting to find is that as more and more organizations are starting to understand how Agile can impact them from a technology perspective, they really are starting to go out of their way to figure out how Agile can be implemented for other parts of the organization. Many of us have heard the story regarding Nordstrom's and Nordstrom Innovation Labs and many companies who do just straight up retail who are trying to find innovative ways, whether it's to sell sunglasses or to keep track of inventory or to implement new POS point of sale solutions throughout the entire chain of organization. It's just interesting to see how Agile has proliferated many of the different departments and the projects that they're working on. Plenty of project managers found that foundations laid out by Agile principles are applicable to many other departments, projects, and simple tasks. There's lots of place where Agile can really be implemented, but I think the key is to focus on outcome instead of output and to recognize that from a philosophical perspective, this really can be applied to just about anything. And we see that in the entertainment industry where, some of the world leaders like the Walt Disney Company and others are really embracing Agile and taking it to the next level and pushing forward in many of their projects, whether it's building a new hotel or whether it's updating a theme park or whether it's launching one of the world's best streaming services. You'll see that Agile has its finger in each of those, and that, through practice of business agility, these organizations are seeing market success. They're seeing more frequent releases. They're seeing better products and services. And they're seeing excitement around what they're doing and having morale improve and seeing people embrace new products and services. It's been a long time since I've been able to say that I told you so. But back in 2007, as in 13 years ago, I had an opportunity to write an article about how Agile applied to my life at home. And at the time, I had young children, and we were talking about how my wife and I were trying to apply Agile principles to help with managing things around the house. And from there, it quickly spun off, and I said, you could use Agile to describe just about anything. And as I started exploring how other companies could implement Agile and different things that you could do by maintaining a good backlog, by making certain you've identified clear roles, by making sure that you explore and understand the 5 core Scrum values, for example. If you understand focus, openness, respect, commitment, and courage, there's no reason why you couldn't apply those 5 principles to just about anything you do, whether it's the latest in education. Many colleges and universities, and even high schools at this point, have taken an opportunity to stretch and implement Agile. Or whether it's the military, the Department of Defense has really embraced Agile in the United States, and they're making great strides to implement better agility so that they can apply this to whatever aspect of what they're working on is. I encourage you to let us know maybe what your most unique Agile setting is. Where have you seen Agile implemented that you might not expect it? Where have you seen Agile implemented that is a place that's out of the ordinary? But what I can promise you is this, that as we go on, Agile's not going to go away from IT and from software development. In fact, we'll see it expand and scale. But the reminder is, before you scale, you should make sure you're putting emphasis in the right place. You want to make sure that you're focused on outcome, that you're reducing your work in progress, and that you're building products or services that really matter to the end consumer. And once you can focus and realize those 3 things, then you'll see the real value that Agile can provide within your organization. I hope this was useful to you, and I hope that you found something, a nugget, a pearl of wisdom that you could take away. As always, we encourage you to visit AgileDad.com, where you can learn more about this topic and many other topics that'll help you with your Agile implementation. Until next time, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Do take care.